Hello and welcome back to Non-League to Legend, our series where we start in non-league football and attempt to go on and win the European Champions League. Now today's a bit of a different episode. We're going to be having a look at the review of the season, previewing the next season and preparing transfers for life in the National League. We have got promotion last episode. If you haven't seen that one, go back and have a look now. I'll put a card up in the top corner, but for now we're going to have a look at the season and how it went for us, who are top performers. How did we become so amazing and unbeatable as Bath City Football Club? Before we do that today though guys, if you are enjoying the content, if you enjoyed today's episode, if you're looking forward to seeing how we do after our promotion, drop a like down below on the video. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out and it's pretty much the best thing you can do for me. But for now, let's go and have a look at, we've got 10 emails over here. I'm pretty much going to be doing this live and having a talk through what we have on screen with you guys. So it might be a bit all over the place this episode. Let's find out. For a start, first email, we've got record league goals for us with Bath City. 85 league goals in a season is a new team record, which is fantastic. Becoming a good attacking force as well as a good defensive unit in the second half of that season, really helping us out with our promotion push, and not really that surprising that we have got this record this season if you consider it as a whole. We have got at next one up this season review. Obviously we did finish as champions last episode. We're going to have a click through, have a look at some of these. We've got the new arrivals first. Alan or maybe Steve here. The board are pleased with the deal to sign Alan or maybe Steve due to his lower wage budget, but more important, he's come from Southampton. 40 appearances, 14 goals as a centre back, mostly off of corners I'd imagine. 4 assists to his name, a 7.82 rating. Someone I'm desperate to keep hold of for next season I think as well. We've got Elliot Freya as well. Apparently he was a new signing, he wasn't one of ours, he was here when we got here. 7.67 rating there, 42 appearances for the club, 6 goals to his name, but more importantly 27 assists, which is absolutely ridiculous. Cody Cook next as well. He's come in this season, 39 appearances, 23 goals, 2 assists, but that's not really his job, but those 23 goals absolutely crucial in firing us to the top of the league and finishing as champions. Richard Taylor, one of my seasons, ever present pretty much at left back, 43 appearances for the club, 7.22 rating, 9 assists as well, which is good. Kocher, another one of our signings, 40 appearances, pretty much again ever present next to Alan or maybe Steve. They both got 40 appearances. I imagine that's starting pretty much every game, to be honest. Only 1 goal, 1 assist, but definitely a defensive rock there. 7.2 rating for him. Augustus McGiff, our other striker that we've signed, only 19 years old, so I think he can still improve yet. 36 appearances, 20 goals, almost catching up with Cook there. A 7.06 rating for him. Ollie O'Dyer, the board aren't very pleased with. They think he's got too high a wage. I say we needed him. Only 3 starting appearances, but 17 off of the bench covering for when Alan or maybe Steve or Kocher got tired. 7.03 rating, so he's done his job when he's coming off the bench. Tammy Scott as well, 43 appearances, ever present in goal. Oh, he's got 1 assist as well, which is very random. I'm guessing that is just a big long ball forward when no one else touches it. Jordan Richards, defensive midfielder. We've obviously been playing mostly at right back. 17 appearances, which is pretty much starting almost all his games since he got to the club. 2 assists to his name as well. Owen Moore, our other right back that we signed, 24 starting appearances for him. We've got Lawrence Wooten, again, only 9 starting appearances, but 23 off of the bench, so he's been crucial in keeping our team fit. We've got Giorgio as well, again, only 8 starting appearances, but 19 off of the bench. Very important for fitness. We've got Max Drake, who came in loan. He was just a flop. And we've got Callum Taylor, who again, I can't remember if we signed him. I'm pretty sure Callum Taylor's the guy I signed later on in the season, maybe, or maybe he joined. I genuinely can't remember. Either way, he's actually leaving and joining Lana on a free at the end of this season, so he won't be around with us in the National League next season. Season review. It's a superb season for the Romans, who exceeded expectations throughout the campaign and claimed a deserved title. They expect us to finish top half, apparently. I swear that said playoffs, but never mind. We've obviously finished as champions, 9 points clear at the top. Average home attendance of only 38%. Hopefully that goes up next time. Competition top goal scorer is Cody Cook with 23 goals. They're delighted. The board are so happy with that. So are we, to be fair. Moments to remember then as well. Biggest win here. We've got the 5-0 win against Billericay. They had 2 players sent off as it was, so not overly surprising. We've put 5 past them. Match to remember, the Hampton and Richmond match where we won 4-0 in January. Very much at the start of our unbeaten run. And goal of the season here as well. We've got Cody Cook. Let's see if we can have a quick look at that one. 86th minute. We're saying he's run from his own half. So we'll see how much of the replays are going to play. Oh yeah, so it's over there. It's basically from his own half. Turns past that player and then just bottom corner, low drive past the goalkeeper. It is a good goal. Goal of the season? I don't know. But it's a good goal either way. Finances then, club reputation has stayed pretty much the same throughout. Obviously sponsorship, broadcast revenue, all of that is up nicely in the green. I do think that's possibly because you don't get the data from the season before for that. This is monumentally unhelpful because it says our shirt sales and these players sold particularly well, but I don't know all of the numbers, so I can't work out exactly who that is. Never mind. How we lined up them, this is pretty much exactly how we lined up, to be fair, although Tom Smith and Lloyd James are the wrong way round on this. But other than that, it's pretty much roughly exactly how we lined up. I think McGiff and Cook are the wrong way round as well, but that was definitely what we played most of the season. Accolades for this season then, we've got 3 Manager of the Month awards for September, for February and for March. Fans Player of the Season is Alan or maybe Steve. He's also the Young Player of the Season and the Signing of the Season, so very, very good debut season at Bath City for Alan or maybe Steve. Goal this season we just saw is Cody Cook. Top goal scorer is also Cody Cook with 23 goals. Most assists, unsurprisingly, is Elliot Freya with 27 assists. Alan or maybe Steve also picking up the most Man of the Match awards with 12 and the highest average rating at 7.8. And then most passes completed per 90 minutes is Lawrence Wooten when he has come on, completing 73 passes. Record breakers then, again, I think these become more relevant next season because I think you kind of beat all the records the first season because I don't think it brings in the data from the previous season. But obviously most overall goals and most league goals is Cody Cook, as well as most goals in a match with 3, most goals by a player in a league match with 3, most assists again with 3, most clean sheets Tommy Scott with 15, and or maybe Steve with, like we said, the most man of the matches. Tom Smith with the worst discipline, he's got 10 yellow cards, so we didn't get any red cards this season, which is pretty good. We also got youngest player is this guy. I'm not going to attempt to say your name. Svatas Pluk Rogozan, he says, attempting to say his name. He's come on, he's only 15. He came on pretty short towards the end of the season as a central midfielder, just to try him out, because why not? He could end up really, really good. Oldest player is Lloyd James at 34 years old. He's been good. We're going to have a look at him in a minute, decide whether he's staying next season. Fastest goal from Cody Cook with 1 minute and whatever that says seconds. 1 minute and 5 seconds, I'm guessing that's meant to be. Youngest goal scorer is McGiff at 19 years old and 44 days, and the oldest goal scorer is Lloyd James. Yeah, so obviously winning the league, definitely the biggest accomplishment this season. Oh, we've got a club vision and expectations meeting as well. That is substantially more club culture than it was before. So they want us to play attacking football, play possession football, make the most of set pieces, entertaining football, and high pressing tempo football. Yeah, I feel like we can do some of those, maybe not all of them. They also want us to work within the wage budget, and they now want us to become an established Vanarama national team. We disagree with that. I don't feel the need to change any of that particularly. Squad dynamics remain the same. Oh, we've got the end of team meeting. These always go badly. Congratulations, get promoted. We've got that one. I'm not going to say we're going to get a mid-table. I'd hope we would, but I'm not going to say that we are. We'll just say we're good enough to not get relegated next season, and that'll be the target. They're all happy with that. Good. That's the reaction I was after. Want you all to enjoy your break. We'll talk about promises when you come back. We'll see you in a few weeks, guys. Nothing else too interesting in those emails, so we'll carry on. We'll come back when there's anything interesting happening. So something slightly interesting on the transfer front. Owen Moore will be going. He's in a bit of a strop. He wants a new contract. He hasn't played enough, and I don't think he's going to be good enough for the league above, so we're letting him go. He's going to be going on a free. We're not going to get a transfer fee for him, but we've accepted bids from Hemel Hempstead and Billericay because they both agreed for a 30% of profit from next sell as part of the transfer, so we're going to go with that. We've also just got an increase to the transfer revenue. We now get 30% of any transfer sale, so we're going to get 30% of that zero. We've avoided a tax hit, and we've got 5 sponsorship deals that we've just done. Estimated £80,000 per year. Most notable is a new main kit sponsor, which is going to be 25.5k per year. So it's a little bit more money than before. New scouting budget as well. Local council blocks planning permission. Okay, so were we trying to build a new stadium? I don't really know what was going on there, because we haven't actually asked for a stadium extension and we're not filling it at the moment. So why would we want a bigger stadium? Board's gone crazy. Something I do feel we probably should do before we head into transfers and things is actually have a look at our team. So we've got 4 strikers at the club. To be honest, Giorgio, not really a striker though, so we're going to ignore him, which leaves us with 3, and Fletcher's been playing out on the right, so realistically we've kind of only got Cody Cook and McGiff. Cody Cook is saying he's a leading Vanarama South player. I don't think he's likely to be leaving just because of how many goals he scored last season. And then McGiff being our other one, he's got a lot more potential about him. He's also wanted by Kidderminster. I don't know what league Kidderminster are in though. At the moment, obviously a Vanarama South standard player, but potentially could be a national standard, so we definitely want to keep both of them around. Probably need to add a bit of depth up front, I'd imagine, maybe a little bit more quality as well. Out on the left, we've obviously got Elliot Freya. He's definitely good enough to be staying around. We're definitely going to keep hold of him. When's his contract? His contract runs out end of next season, so he won't be going anywhere. And then again, we've got the same problem here of we've got Giorgio, but he's very much a backup option, so we probably need at least a better backup for the left side of midfield. Over on the right, we've been playing Fletcher. Fletcher, again, is a Vanarama South player, but probably can't cut it at national level. So potentially we need a first choice attacking midfielder on the right there, and Fletcher can become the backup for the right midfield and the striker roles as well. And then in centre midfield, we've got Tom Smith. Tom Smith is a good Vanarama national player. He's also only 24, so I think he'll definitely be sticking around, although he's moaning a bit because he wants to play as Mazzala, and I don't know if that fits in our system. Lloyd James, unfortunately, I think at his level and his age, because he's 34, so he is the oldest player, and we're paying him £500 a week, I think maybe Lloyd James is someone that unfortunately might end up leaving this summer. If we can get some clubs interested in him, he's someone that might have to go. That's pretty much it in midfield. Obviously we've got Jordan Richards, but he tends to play out on the right. Eddie Jones, not really a midfielder. And then we've got Wooten, who again could become quite a good player, and we have signed him this season, but I don't feel like he's likely to stick around as we start making some transfers. We're also paying him £230 a week, and if he's just going to sit on the bench, he is wanted by a couple of teams as well, so I feel like he could be on his way. Out on the left of defence side, we've got Richard Taylor. Again, I feel like Richard Taylor definitely worth keeping around just because of his potential. Behind him, no, we definitely need some backup there. Alan or maybe Steve, 100% needs to be staying. Saying he's unlikely to improve, but he's national level already, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. A Kocher as well. We're saying he's Vanarama South standard, but he's potentially could be a Sky Bet Championship. So I think Alan or maybe Steve and the Kocher are just going to stay there as the first choice centre backs. And then potentially we've got Ollie O'Dyer. He's obviously got potential to improve a bit. Ideally, we could do with some better backup defensive options, but I do really want to keep Alan, maybe Stephen and Kocher there as the first two choice centre-backs, really. Jordan Richards obviously out on the right. Again, he's another one. He's been playing quite well, but maybe we need to bring in a first choice right back, and then he can drop back and be the backup role. So he can be the second choice right back. And then goalkeeper, we need to do something desperately, because we've literally just got Tommy Scott at the club, because I completely mucked that up. Good enough to at least be a starter for us, but we definitely need a backup. Either a backup or someone that's going to come in and be better than him, at which point he will drop to the second choice goalkeeper. There's no loyalty at this club for me. If we can find a player that's better than you, you get replaced. So we have gone through the entire transfer window today. As you can see at the top is going to be our first game in the Vanarama National League. We're going to get to that in the next episode, but for now we're going to have a look at the transfers we've made in this transfer window. So having a look at the outs first, Owen Moore that we said about has now gone. He's gone over to Billericay. He's gone on a free, but we didn't pay anything for him in the first place. We haven't made a loss on him. We have got rid of his wages off the wage budget. As we say, he played 30 games for us last season, but we had replaced him, so it's not a big loss, nothing we're too worried about. We've got Lawrence Wooten as well. Obviously, we signed him on a free. We sold him for £1,000 back to a team that was in our league last season, which was Havant. Again, he was all right, but not someone I thought was going to play a lot in the National League, not quite up to that quality. We've then brought in some players we can see over here. Some of them, like this guy, Teddy Davey, are more players that potentially could fulfill some potential. He's currently 2.5 stars, potential of 4 stars. He's coming from Southampton on a free. You can see at the moment he's lower than the standard of player we want him to be, but he could be useful for a bit of depth potentially throughout the season, and we can just send him out on loan maybe as well and try and turn a profit on him later on. We've got Oliver Turner. As you can see, Oliver Turner has now gone out to loan on Gloucester since we signed him on a free from Spurs. According to reports, he's 2-star currently, potential of 4-star, so he's again maybe one that we just send out and make a bit of money on in the future. We've got Ronaldo Torrage. He's a left winger who'll be coming in as backup for Elliot Freya. The nice thing about him is he's already 3-star. He's got 5-star potential as well, so he's only 18. He's Albanian. He's come over from Spurs as well. He's currently already playing at a Vanarama National standard, and he could become a Sky Bet League 2 standard. So if we do lose Elliot Freya in the season through injury or through a player sale, then we've got someone there who can come in and replace him. We then got Zeli Asmel, who's a 28-year-old English midfielder. Bit of a miss signing, this one, definitely. He's coming from a free from Hereford, and he's not really good enough. Not every signing we make is going to be wonderful. Obviously, we've got very low level scouts for this sort of team, and Dave come in and said he's going to be good, and it turns out he isn't. So we're going to ignore that he exists, because he's not quite as good as we thought he was going to be. He's not really going to be part of the team. We've got Jayden Mundell-Smith, 22-year-old English left back, coming over from Wealdstone on a free. He played a lot of games for them last season. Again, he could potentially grow a little bit in the future, but he is playing at the level we need him to right now, and he does like playing as a wing back in that role, which suits our formation perfectly. More outs over here then. Of course, we've got Callum Taylor that's gone over to Larne, who are, I believe, a lower league potentially, or maybe that's the Premier League, but anyway, in Northern Ireland. So that's our goalkeeper. He's gone. We've brought in Daniel Boateng. He's a right back, 3-star potential. He's going to be coming in and helping us out for depth on that right back. He probably might even be our starter. We will be playing him as a wing back. As we can see as well, he is equally adept at as playing as a centre back. So again, it's nice to have that depth, especially at this level. Players that can play in a couple of positions. Wilson Cavallo is another one. He is a 29-year-old Portuguese right winger, 3-star, as we can see, probably going to stay like that. Can play as a winger as well. He's come over. He's been playing in Hendon, Hampton and Richmond, Acton, Bradford. He's done a full tour of lower league football, never spending more than a couple of seasons at a club. I think the most time he spent anywhere is Kettering, and he actually left them to go to Oxford City in the middle. Hopefully he can come in and be relatively important for us though. We've got Lewis Mccloyd. He's come in for us. He can play either as the defensive midfielder or as a central midfielder should we need him to. Again, we got him on a free. He's come over from Plymouth. Before that, it was at Wigan and Brentford. He's probably our better midfielders. Lloyd James not showing up on that transfer history, but he has left the club. He was just released at the end. He wouldn't sign a new contract that I felt was reasonable. And he was one of the players, obviously, at the start of this episode, he said he's getting on a little bit. And we've replace him with someone who's slightly better and a bit younger. I'm going to ignore all these downwards arrows for the moment, and I hope that that's just because he hasn't been playing, but he's going to be playing probably in the centre of the park for the moment, and looks like he'd be a very, very important player for us this season. We've also got Lamar Reynolds, another guy who can play. He can play either left winger or right winger equally adeptly. We're probably using more as a right winger. 3-star again, and we've got him on a free from Concord, who were in our league last season. Obviously, again, he is playing already at a Vanarama national level, so we've got 2 players over on that right side. We've brought in Tom Smith as our backup goalkeeper. He's come over from Welling. Well, no, he's come over from Arsenal. He's been on loan for 2 seasons. Again, he's already a national standard player. He's not quite as good as Tommy Scott, who is our first choice goalkeeper, but he could improve as well, so he's going to be a very, very good backup for us because we didn't have a backup goalkeeper, so he's super, super important. We've also got Joelle Lopez out on that left hand side, again another one who could improve, currently playing at a Vanarama national level, so already ready for the starting. Another one who's actually come over from Arsenal, is at Barcelona at one point. He's played for 4 seasons at Arsenal in their reserves, never had any game time at all in the Premier Division. Plays for us now over at Bath City. And our last signing, we've got Harry Clark. So Harry Clark can either play as a fullback on the right, he's got 4.5 stars as we can see, or he can play as a centre-back, which, to be honest, even though he's not quite as good, there's probably where we're going to end up playing him. We're not really sure at the moment. Either he's going to end up on the right or end up in a centre-back position, probably replacing Kocher. We've got him obviously on a free as well. He was at Arsenal, so we've managed to pick up a few Arsenal players. He's been out on loan for the last 2 seasons, played 32 games in the Sky Bet League 2 with Oldham, and he's been at Ross County in Scotland for the last season, playing 27 games there. So he has got some game time under his belt. He's being said to be, by our scouts and by our assistant manager, to be a Sky Bet League 2 standard player. Absolutely a bit of a coup for us. That means our lineup will probably look something like this as our first choice lineup for the season, I think, which is Scott in goal, Taylor, Allen or maybe Steve, Clark and Boateng out there. Switch those guys round there over at the back. We've then got Mccloyd and Smith in midfield, Freya and over on the left, Reynolds on the right, McGiff and Cook up front. So I think we're pretty much there in terms of the squad. Looking at the squad depth though, I'd say potentially we've got 3 good left backs now. We're absolutely fine there. In the centre of the fence, we've got Allen or maybe Steve, we've got Harry Clark, and we've got a Kocher, who are all very, very capable of playing there, and we've got some other players who can go there as well. Over on the right, we've got Harry Clark, Boateng and Jordan Richards, who can all play there, so I think we're pretty covered there. Midfield wise, we've got Harry Clark, can also play in midfield, but more importantly, we've got Mccloyd, Smith, who can go there. We've got Davey, who can come into the team as well, but maybe we could do one more there just for depth option. On the left, we've got Freya, we've got Lamar Reynolds, who can play there. Fletcher obviously can play there as well. Out on the right, then we've got Reynolds and Cavallo again, who are probably going to play there up front. Cody Cook, McGiff and maybe Fletcher. Fletcher could be on his way out. We could end up needing either a different first choice or a different backup option for up front. But if we have a look, actually, we'll have a look now. Let's have a look at who we've scouted in this position. Who could we bring in, really? We could bring in this guy. but we don't have any transfer budget, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't only just signed for Ebbsfleet. So we could have a look at this guy, but we don't have any transfer budget currently at all, so probably not an option. For Rakesh Bingham, we've got Sean Jeffers here. He's someone who could come in. We had Will Russ. Will Russ was actually on loan with us, so potentially someone like Will Russ, who is 19, maybe he could come in. He might be an option just as a bit of a depth option. Obviously he's got some good potential in there, but I think when we actually had him on trial at the club, he didn't look like he was going to be fantastic. So I don't know, let's ask the director of football maybe to suggest us some transfer targets just while we think about it. Got nothing to suggest us in terms of transfers. These guys are all loans, which is interesting. Do we have some sort of link with Bristol City under 23s that I don't know about? Maybe, but we'll scout all of them anyway. See, have we got any that you can sort of say on a free transfer? Jamie Proctor, Amo Briegel, or Lewis Dennis. I think all of them at some point been on trial and not been good enough, and they are older as well. I'd rather get a younger striker that maybe can grow with the club, so perhaps not. Okay, so we've got an affiliation with Bristol City that I swear wasn't here to start with, because I've been asking the team to have a look at getting us a senior affiliate, and every time we've asked them to do it, they've agreed in principle and then come back and said that they can't find anyone. So let's get Bristol City scouted then, I guess, and we'll see if maybe we can bring in a couple of loans before next episode that maybe we could add to the team and add some depth to the team, maybe even some improvements if we can find a good striker in there. For now though, that's going to be it for this episode. That's kind of our transfer special done. We are ready for the season now. We've got a match today, which is the first match for the season against Weymouth. That'll be coming up in the next episode as we start our first season in the Vanarama National League. If you have enjoyed today's episode though, guys, as always, be very, very much appreciated if you could drop a like on the video. It really, really does help the channel out, and it will help get this video out to some new eyes as well that maybe won't have seen it yet. With that though, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure as always, and I will see you for the next episode in the Vanarama National League with Bath City. See you soon. Bye.